All right, hello and welcome back to another wee bit of a video. Today's video is a frustrating video to make because although, most of the games from the wildcard weekend weren't affected so far, the Rams and Lions still have to play. The NFL refereeing is clearly a problem, and it's going to be this way, and there's going to be too much BS happening way too consistently until the NFL steps in and just says we can review certain plays. For example, we've talked about it early in the season because it's been such a huge thing, is reviewing face mask penalty calls. But some of these pass interferences that are no calls or calls, some of these other calls that just suck because the referees don't have a good view. If you haven't been watching football throughout the season, there is this rule that there is this specific camera that because not all teams have access to this angle, you can't use this camera angle. The referees themselves can't use it. Even if it shows you what you need to see, does not matter. You cannot use it. So there's a lot of BS happening. But two games that I think were very heavily impacted by refereeing. We have one, the Eagles and the Packers. We'll get to that. And then this one wasn't as bad, but there was a huge play in the Commanders Buccaneers game that was a no call that could have changed everything, but it didn't. The Commanders won anyway. So let's talk about the Packers and the Eagles first. This was supposed to be one of the better games of the entire slate, Eagles and Packers. And the first play of the game, we have a fumble from the Packers. The Packers player, Nixon is his last name, I believe, recovers his fumble, but he got stripped after he recovered his own fumble and he was down. And the referees, clear as day, saw that it was stripped, saw that, oh no, he did get the ball back. We called it wrong. We can overturn this. And they didn't overturn it. But there was one angle, the sky cam angle, that they weren't able to see from the ground because not everyone has access to it. Like, do we not see the problem here? And the NFL needs to step in and get that call right because one, this game says 10-22, and people are like, in the end, the Eagles pulled away, but the Eagles literally scored a touchdown off of that turnover. And this game, for the majority of the time, was a 2-possession game. Easily could have been a 1-possession game. Easily could have been the case where Packers, what if they drive down and get a field goal or a touchdown that drive? It changes everything. Okay, so this is the first play I was talking about, where the player lost the fumble, recovered his own fumble, has clear possession, and the other player just outright strips it while they're on the ground. He literally has clear possession, and I don't know if they didn't have the single. I think that's what I heard on the broadcast, but even then, this is a no-brainer. This requires zero basketball. This requires zero football knowledge to know that, oh man, it's Packers ball. Okay, so this is the play that I'm talking about that really irked me. I mean, yeah, sure, is the game over 10-22? I hope I don't get copyrighted like I said earlier, but it's 10-22, minute 55, and is the game probably over? Sure. Technically, do the Packers have a chance if they score a touchdown? Yes, because, onside kick and your ball, obviously, and you go. Now, is it a high percentage chance? No, definitely not. But it's a big deal because it's literally the playoffs, bro. You got to get these calls right, and you guys are listening to me talk. Stop talking, play it. Okay, I'll play it. Check this out. Look at this guy. Look at 52. Just completely rams the player. Ball's not even playing the ball. Look at this. The ball's right here. Is my face covering it? Maybe. Okay, well, if my face is, you can see my cursor moving up this high. This is the length of how high it is. And I mean, come on. Come on. I mean, he brings him down. Ball still hasn't touched anyone. That's not a pass interference. 80 gets up right away and is like, dude, come on. Like, that's a PI. I mean, we can go through the comments. It's not pretty. And don't get me wrong, I actually was cheering for the Eagles this game, not because I'm an Eagles fan, because I just love the Saquon Barkley story. You know what I mean? People just disrespect him for a long time. He comes out and he is, a winner. And he's playing like a winner. He's obviously the best or second best running back in the game right now, either him or Derrick Henry. But this top comment is by an Eagles fan. Feels like a lot of questionable calls / no calls have gone our way tonight. Yeah, tonight it went your way. The next game it might go the other way. Refs are just complete dog shit. And yeah, I mean, and then like I said, the first call of the game being as big as it was, and then there was other no calls in this game. Obviously not as big as these two in terms of just the highlights themselves and how big they really look, but it's just ridiculous. Then we can talk about the Commanders and the Buccaneers game. I don't remember the score, but the Commanders are driving in the first quarter. They get to the red zone and, it's 4th and whatever it is. And I can't pull this play up because it didn't pop up on the highlights. I really couldn't find it. But Jaden Daniels looking around. Oh, I believe it was Zach Ertz. Throws it to Zach Ertz. Levante David just completely holds him. Or whoever that player was. It might not have been Zach Ertz. Whoever that player was completely holds him, stopping him from running his route, and doesn't even play the ball. And it was just a no call, which should have been a pass interference, first and goal on the 1 yard line. But it wasn't. And the Commanders still win this game anyway, so no one's going to talk about that. But if they lost this game, that call would have been brain dead. It was just so... And again, I'm a Cowboys fan, and I'm getting upset for these Commanders, for this Commanders team over that play, which it's one play, but it literally changes everything from turnover on downs to a first and goal on the 1 yard line. And again, the Commanders win the game anyway, so it didn't matter in the end. But the Chiefs play next week, all right? We've seen some of the calls that go towards the Chiefs, and I hate going into a game and feeling like unnerved, uneasy, thinking, okay, the Ravens or the Bills or this team or that team is going to have to beat the Chiefs and the officiating. And if you're a Chiefs fan, you're thinking, okay, this is just stupid. The Chiefs are just a really good team, and yes, they are. The Chiefs are a really good team, which is why I'm bringing it up, because any even small ounce of help they can get is just crazy. They don't need the help. They're already that good. The Chiefs are already that good. Patrick Mahomes is already an all-timer. He doesn't need any more help by getting these calls or no calls that benefit them. And again, I cannot stress this enough. This game, Commanders won anyway, but if they did not win, that call is gut-wrenching. Just like the Packers. I mean, they're going home. When that first play of the game, it should have been their ball. And it's... Man, that is bad. That is so bad. We talk about the NBA and, oh man, the reffing this, reffing that, but I don't know, dude. It's never going to be as major as the NFL's bad calls, just because they outright change an entire game. Making a no call that literally would give the other team the ball or would advance them down the field. We can go back to that Rams and Saints game one year. I think the year the Rams either went to the Super Bowl or won the Super Bowl. They played against the Saints. And I think it was Malcolm Jenkins. Is that who it was? Just completely destroys a Saints player on defensive pass interference that does not get called. Those are the plays that are just... Like, if you're a Saints player, Sean Payton was losing his mind the moment it happened, but if you're a Saints fan too watching it, that's like, come on. That has to be reviewable or something when there's 2 minutes to go or 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. There's got to be some accountability going into these games, especially with the reffing, because these calls literally change everything. And tomorrow there's going to be Vikings and Rams, and I hope there's not any more bad calls, because it's been a rough weekend. There's been more stuff, some tiki-tacky, some not so much, but there's got to be a review system. There's got to be something. Something has to give with these decisions. Again, if I'm a Packers fan, oh God, don't even... But yeah, if I was a Packers fan, I'd lose my shit, to be honest with you. I would be distraught as can be. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you think the NFL should do something, anything about its review system and the refs Again, we've already talked about the face mask penalties and that being reviewable. What about pass interferences or no call pass interferences when they're just that obvious? It's branded obvious. Even a toddler could see, hey, that's not right. You know what I mean? Anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, this is We've Been Different. We've been different. And we out.